let's jump into another draft here, ranking another team or reviewing another team. Realize I'm calling these rank the team and I really haven't ranked them. Maybe I should start that or just keep on going with it. Who knows? It's not bugging anyone yet. Okay. This one here, I'm in the second spot and McCaffrey falls to me. Someone decided to take Robinson with the first pick. End up with 3 stacks on this team. I have 49ers, McCaffrey, Ayuk, and then paired him with Purdy right here. Happy with that one because Purdy can fall to here, and I've seen him fall to here before, but you'll also see him get picked somewhere around here also. So he doesn't always make it all the way back around here. Nice to see it happen as far as that goes. Sweated this pick right here. Saw the red. I'm like, oh no, did he take Purdy? Nope, took Cousins. We're good there. Second stack I have is the Washington stack. This is probably my favorite pick of the whole draft right here. Totally luck-based pick, but favorite pick nonetheless. I haven't seen Jaden Daniels fall this far in any draft, I don't think. And so to see him fall right here was pretty sweet. Took him, and I felt really good at quarterback. Ended up pairing him with Sinnott and McCaffrey down here. So some of their lower end talent, I find that I'm pairing him more often with those two than I do with Terry McLaurin. Probably because if I got McLaurin, I don't know why, actually. Probably because I'm waiting for Daniels to fall to a certain spot versus just grab him. And maybe, where I'm getting McLaurin in a draft, it just doesn't match up right. Who knows? I don't really know. I'll have to think about that. Maybe I can find some drafts. They were probably fast drafts, though, before I was doing these slow drafts. With these slow drafts, I don't know how much McLaurin I've taken. Then I end up with the third stack later on. I have David Carr right here, and I have Olave up here, and I end up with Perry down here. So that's the third stack. I also ended up with a pretty heavy Packers build too, with Reed, Wicks, Lloyd, and then I got Kraft down here. My least favorite pick on this team was the Coleman pick. This was kind of a throwaway pick in a way. I've done this before, and I'm not proud of the pick, but whatever, it is what it is. I don't draft them at all really, and I felt like it was too early to grab one of these other receivers, and I didn't know who else to take, so I decided to just take someone that is kind of around that same ADP that I just never take otherwise for the most part. So Coleman's the guy that I end up with there. That's my explanation, if you care. I'm racking my brain trying to figure out what I should take in instead of Coleman. And the if I take anyone other than a wide receiver here, things don't work out in an ideal way. If I take a tight end right here, then it's hard to get another wide receiver of value. I got to either pass on Pollard, Purdy, or Daniels probably to get that fifth wide receiver. And not really a fan of passing on these players based on what else I have and where they fell. And not a fan of the wide receivers that I end up with instead. So I don't like that idea for the most part. I mean, I try to even look and see what type of position, other position. I don't know if I said tight end before, but if I take a quarterback instead, like let's say, for example, I pulled Love all the way up here because I had Reed, who I took right before, I still run into the same issue where I take Purdy because he matches up with my other 49ers and he's well past ADP, sure. And then Daniels comes here. I'm just kicking myself there probably, right? Or maybe Daniels taken because Love wasn't available for someone else. So it maybe impacts the whole draft. And then if I do take a Love here, which I don't mind because I end up with all the Packers here, the thing that bugs me is based on how these ADPs line up, you kind of got to pick which one you want, Lloyd or Musgrave. if I take Love, maybe I take Musgrave instead, just because, you know, more of a receiving threat just because he's a tight end. Lloyd, you don't know what he's gonna do on the field as a rookie. Also, Jacobs has been a multi-purpose back, bruiser, but a multi-purpose back as well, can catch it out of the backfield. So who knows what they'll have Lloyd do exactly. So I probably with Musgrave, I took Love here. But basically, I think this pick is darned if you do, darned if you don't with it. So as much as I don't like it, in the end, I guess I can't hate it too much either because I have no idea what I would do differently with that pick. The other pick that the nice thing about this draft was once I grabbed these two wide receivers and I had the stud, top end anchor running back, and I had my stud tight end, I really felt like I could do whatever I wanted to with the rest of the draft. And so I just started hammering things that I liked, so okay, grab a running back, okay, grab a wide receiver. Did he fall? Let's see if he fell. Wicks, I take him 146. I've gotten this on average. It's the 149 here. I think that's not with the 154 on average right here. So I took him a little bit earlier than what I have. Oh, sorry, that's not the right player. Let's look at Wicks. I took him early too, right? Like way earlier than what I've taken before. That being said, this 152 is probably inflated because I've waited and let him fall and fall and fall as opposed to drafting early most often. So whatever, I could pick what I wanted here. So got some correlation with my read pick. This was an interesting one for me. I haven't gone with a third QB that is this, highly ranked. Not that he's not highly ranked overall, I guess. But usually, if I get a third QB, it's kind of been like, the Fields or the Bo Nix, the Minshew, the Drake May, the O'Connell. It's been in this realm. Even kind of going up here has been tough a little bit to as far as getting a third QB. I got one draft going on right now where he fell all the way down here somewhere. So I did end up with Russell Wilson way down here. He was taken way early in this one. It's definitely early compared to usual. But I think this is a good pick here also. I felt really secure with my team. I didn't take, if I would have taken anything here, I'd take another running back. But I don't think so. Actually, looking at what running backs were available. So maybe if Wright or Gibson fall to me, maybe I take one of them, possibly. But this is a team, remember, with McCaffrey, and then I got Pollard here. So I'm hoping that McCaffrey runs the show. Pollard, Brown, kind of keep it going, and then maybe one of these other guys that I grab late help me, bring home the win. So overall, I like this team. You got some Packer correlation here at the end. I was able to correlate these last couple, at least two of these last couple picks, which is nice also. So that's the team right there. Let's compare it to another team with a similar or the same build if we can. And here's one right here, 3683. I got 3683 as well. He kind of went to stud running backs. ETN normally goes in the second, makes sense. Lamb doesn't usually fall in the fourth pick, so lucky him as far as that goes. And then Achane, he'll go anywhere from second round to third round. So you get these players where they typically go. Then he went back to wide receiver here. So kind of similar to me in that two running backs, and I got the top end best running back ranked in the game right now, and then we both kind of started to hit on wide receivers a lot. I took another D2 a little bit earlier than him, but his D2 is a nice one here. Lamb, Prescott, Ferguson. In these sit and goes, you got to take these guys a little earlier, but kind of exciting for him, I guess, that he paired them up. Prescott hits hardcore. It's probably because it goes to Lamb and Ferguson. And does Elliott become the guy out of the backfield in this setup. You know, he was catching a lot last year. Does he catch as many this year? I don't know. It seems odd because I don't think he really caught much before this year. I mean, not that he didn't catch balls, but he caught a lot last year. So if Dallas 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he hit wide receivers pretty darn hard. Also, kept on drafting them. Both of us ended up with a good amount early, and then a good amount total. We both ended up with an appropriate amount of running backs. We both waited. Look at this. This is interesting. Well, we maybe kind of did things slightly different here. We get here, we both take our second, or no, this was his third. Oh yeah, we both take our third running back here. We both take another D2 at wide receiver. I go running back. He went tight end, but then he comes back with another running back here. I go QB and to take a tight end like that, and then he takes his other QB right here. Come back around. He goes wide receiver. I go running back. Then I go wide receiver. He goes running back. And then he took his. Well, this was his third QB right here. I took the two up higher, so he took his third QB way late. While I took my, first and second earlier, or my second one earlier, I should say. And then, at the end here, whatever. These are just kind of the fun picks. We both took tight end at the end. I had taken things a little earlier than him, so that's why I ended up with, the I guess he had taken his last running wide receiver a little earlier, so I got my last one a little later. So interesting. I feel like we had a similar strategy. I like his team overall. Again, if you just think about the construction of it, I like it. If Dallas does good, he is in first place, possibly. If Dallas doesn't do good, he's probably not in first place just because his second QB is McCarthy. And I don't think he has it really matched up with anything. Yeah, he hasn't got it matched up with anything of note, at least. And then he's got May, and it's not really matched up with anything either. So basically, he's just got to bet. If Dallas hits, he can win. I think that my team maybe has a little bit um, more paths to victory in a way, in that I can be jumping between offenses each week. Well, he's maybe just relying on one offense each week. So if that one offense doesn't hit and his just random pieces all around don't hit like you need to in that specific week, then he's in trouble. For me, I need, either New Orleans or San Francisco or Washington, and you could say maybe, or even Green Bay to a certain extent to hit. And if one of those teams hit in any given week, that's helping me get there as long as I have some studs that are helping move the way with me as well. Some of those are on those teams, some of them are not. But, this is why I took the Coleman pick, actually. Look at that. Coleman and Kincaid. Okay, I kind of dig the Coleman pick there. I didn't know what else to take still. But, if I'm going to take Coleman, why not take him with their who could be their number one receiver? I like Kincaid. He's a second year tight end. He, the theory is that who else is going to get the majority of the targets? Is it going to be Coleman? People don't think so. Is it going to be, I thought it's someone drafted around here, Samuel? People like, well, I mean, he's caught a good amount of balls, but he's never been like the number, I can't think of the last time he was the number one target, like getting all the balls. He's in Washington and he's a really exciting player, but he's not like Devontae Adams getting the ball. Um, so I have a lot of different bets here on any given week to kind of get me where I need to go. Overall, I like the team. Got some competition here. If we go down to the 8th spot, one last thing we've been looking at just for fun. I got Pollard, Brown. I only took 3 in this one, and I think that makes sense. Maybe 3. I know 6 running backs. 3, 4. Why? Okay. Why 3? Why only 3? Why does 3 make sense? 1, 2, 3. that's why I think that this 16th round maybe should be counting in the window a little bit because of that. But I took 3 in this window here between 8 and 15. Not as many that I've taken, probably a lot less than a lot of the drafts. We're gonna look at that and then we'll call it. But it kind of makes sense, right? I invested a lot more in quarterback in this middle part. And it was like a lot of quarterbacks, more than usual. Let's take a look here at just how things look. And we're talking about 8 through 15 right here, basically. And only 3, you can see a lot more on some of these other teams. I got all 3. There's no other team where I've taken 3 quarterbacks in this period of time. And I kind of like that I did it on this one. I think it made sense for the most part. Only 1 wide receiver. You can see overall the number of wide receivers I'm taking in this period of time is on the low side. I'm trying to maybe load up on the wide receivers more often up here, hoping that those are good bets. But I'm willing to take something if I need to and then take some later on. So there you go. 10 out of 10 ranking. I'm kidding. I don't know. You give me the ranking. Okay. See you on the next one. Peace.